That's why they call you the N-word. That's why because you suck. That's why they say you worse than Hitler.
A lot of the time in that situation where you took the layup, guys would try to run it out and get fouled. What made you think that you wanted to go for the layup instead of trying to get the foul?
I just thought I would be able to outrun him.
He could only have gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu.
A hard coat, knock upon your front door. When your ass attack like cancer, burn your condo down. Let my pin drop, don't hear sound.
And straight like that, we back. Everybody doing out there in the world. Hope everyone doing well as for me, myself. Now, I could complain, but I'd rather just keep it to myself, man. Now, let's talk about a group of individuals that cannot be doing too well right about now. Namely, the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, man, we got to talk about it. Everybody saw that. I'm pretty sure most people are watching that series, man. These fellas gave up a 29-point lead to the New York Knickerbockers at Madison Square Garden last night, capped off by a tip-in by OG Anunoby that just came unabated. He was the inbounder, came all the way in for a miracle tip at the end. Victory, secured the victory for the Knicks, bro. It was a wild game. You dig what I'm saying? And I got to offer my opinion on it because I, as a sportsman, was watching it like most other people and offering their opinions, man. No, so let's just go from the top of this thing. All right. So they go into game 4. Series is 2-1. You know, Spurs pull out game 3 in the Garden. Knicks won the first 2 in San Antonio. So we figure that the San Antonio Spurs are going to carry that momentum from game 3 and game 4. Come on out and take that thing, even up the series, go back to San Antonio. And in the first half of that game, they did exactly that. Like I said, they were up to a 29-point lead, bro. Could not miss a shot. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people that I'm going to speak about as we get later on into this short film was doing their thing. You dig what I'm saying in the first half, alternately to some opinion I had on them, bro. You know what I mean? But towards the end of that actually the first half I kind of tuned on out. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of doing other things. You know what I'm saying? They go on into actually with about 5 minutes to go in the second half, I left the house. That's what actually I left to go pick somebody up, bring back home, and I checked the score. They were still up 20-something when I went to my mom's house, and then I come back. Second half gets started, you dig? Now, I've watched a lot of sports. I played a lot of sports, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I be having premonitions, you know what I'm saying? And so about halfway through that third quarter, man, I was just seeing a lot of dumb shots being taken, and the New York Knicks had kind of found their stroke. Not that they really did anything spectacular, but they were finally just at least starting to get their shots to drop. Meanwhile, the Spurs coming down, taking stupid shots, as always, just bad offense, and I started to get a feeling to the point, halfway through the third quarter, I barely looked at the game. You know what I'm saying? I started doing other things and intentionally let them kind of keep my attention so that I could just hear it. And it's not that I'm a huge Spurs fan. I'm not particularly a Knicks fan, but I've played sports, man, and I kind of know like when dread is coming. So it's hard to watch it, bro. You know what I mean? It's like a feeling you get. So it's just like I'd rather listen to it. You know what I mean? I get too upset if I'm watching or whatever. So I started employing the tactic of not even watching. I'm just listening for the plays. And I'm hearing this lead. I hear somebody take a shot and miss it for the Spurs. Knicks come down and make their bucket and foul. And then I'm like, oh my God, bro. I'm like, bro, they about to let the Knicks come back and win this game. This is like halfway through the third quarter. And oh boy. Come the fourth quarter of that ball game, the lead started to whittle down. And this is when it all just went fucking haywire, bro. You dig what I'm saying? So now let's speak on the people involved in all this thing. So the starting lineup, or the lineup that's basically in the game, we got De'Aaron Fox. We have Stephon Castle. We have, I forget his first name, but we have Vassell. We have Dylan Harper. We have Victor Wembanyama. And that's pretty much the deal. I think Keldon Johnson come in every now and then, Cornette, but these aren't vital role players. Starting at the top, at the number 1, okay? You got a couple of names to break down. You've got a Dylan Harper. We're just going to get him out the way. Dylan Harper is a jump shot away from being a perennial superstar in the league, plenty endorsements, household name. Let's get that clear. Young Ron Harper doing his thing out there, left-hand dog, but he still got the right. When he learns to put a little elevation in his jumper, being that he jumps off the ground a little more, or maybe he'll adopt the tactic of releasing the ball on his way up. You dig what I'm saying? But the minute he gets some arch on his shot, he gonna be a dog. Nothing really bad to say about Dylan Harper. The first couple games of that OKC series, he was looking crazy, but he has tightened his game up significantly since then. The other point guard, however, De'Aaron Fox, with almost $250 million contract due to kick in next season. With all due respect, I feel like De'Aaron Fox is expendable. When he came back in that OKC series off of his ankle injury, I gave him a game or two to kind of, get the kinks out of it and get back in the flow of things. And then I thought we were going to start to see the kind of point guard play that the San Antonio Spurs needed to facilitate some ball playing with a young Wemby up under there. But De'Aaron Fox, as I'm watching him, he's like a tweener, bro. He's not exactly a shooting guard that shoots well and scores well. He's not exactly a point guard. He's just like a tweener, bro, and he plays like that. Like, the plays he made late in that game, bro, that layup, now, as for the layup was a boneheaded move.
Situation where you took the layup, guys would try to run it out and get fouled. What made you think that you wanted to go for the layup instead of trying to get the foul?
I just thought I would be able to outrun him.
That's why they call you the N-word. That's why because you suck. That's why they say you worse than Hitler.
Just dribble the ball out. But again, he's not a point guard, bro. He's not even thinking on that mind. Chris Paul would have, you feel me? You'd had to foul him, bro. It would have been the standard point guard play. But he's not a point guard. He got fouled on that shot. Let's be clear. You can see the hand there. He got fouled. But stupid is as stupid does. Maybe the referee's looking at it like it's late in the game. They gonna probably riot if we call a foul right here. You shouldn't even try to take that layup. That's not a professional high IQ play. But they still got low IQ out here. So I guess De'Aaron Fox just showcased it. You dig what I'm saying? And there's a couple other people that are more egregious. But De'Aaron Fox played some of the most horrible basketball from a professional athlete that I've seen in a very, very long time. You dig what I'm saying? And for someone that's a max contract player, you just can't have that, especially in the finals and the big stage. After your team has blown a 29-point lead, your point guard is essentially the coach on the floor. And we're going to get to talking about some coaching in a minute. But you should have been the one to slow that game down and not make bonehead decisions.
So let's go through every dog shit play that De'Aaron Fox made in the second half. Just a head-scratching pass by the little fella here. Then 60 seconds later, Fox, who should be the last person on planet Earth doing a James Harden dribble, step-back shot, does that. So Fox actually gets taken out after that shot. He checks back in with a minute left. And what in the actual fuck is that pass? And then the very next possession, at the end of the third quarter, Fox again, dribble, right off the foot, and out of bounds. And then this possession right here, 3 minutes left, 4-point game. Imagine this being your possession. This is the biggest play of the game. Fox is having a family barbecue. Dribbling the ball off his foot. No rush at all. Oh shit. There's only 6 seconds left in the shot clock. And then you got the play everyone and their grandma are talking about. Fox looks like he has a breakaway. He can't outrun OG Anunoby. He can't dribble out the clock. He decides to go up.
He could only have gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu.
And he gets swatted. And then on the final possession of the game, my voice is cooked right now. Fox is on Anunoby. Wemby is on Brunson. Fox then decides to help Wemby. He doubles Brunson. No one's on Anunoby. End up, maybe, yes, maybe, that will be your winning bucket.
Let's move on to the next positions. I've said early in tweets, I think that you can package a De'Aaron Fox, a Vassell, and a Keldon Johnson and go out shopping next summer. I don't know for what. Because I think Dylan Harper is the future point guard. I like Castle at the 2. You got Wemby. Go out there and get shopping for another big down there that can do some rebounding and some moving around. You dig what I'm saying? Maybe a stretch 4 that can hit you a 3 and keep Wemby from out there shooting threes all goddamn year. But I've said you can package those 3. So moving on to them. Keldon Johnson, 6th man of the year. Regular season dog, but he obviously is not translating that ball play into the playoffs, and that's a different level of ball playing. You know what I mean? Now you've got game plans, but I don't even know that, man. There's not a lot of play calling going on, but Keldon Johnson is not looking like a 6th man of the year. He goes in and plays a good little defense, gets some rebounds every now and then, but his overall body of work in this playoffs, man, has left a lot on the table, much to be desired. You dig what I'm saying? Castle was prone to turnovers in those first couple of OKC games. Since then, he has cleaned his game up. He's starting to look like a future superstar. I don't have a lot of smoke for them because they're young, and I'm going to give them this playing card. Let's go on down and let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. Victor had a very good game, you know what I'm saying? Blocks and all that, timely blocks, but he had 2 free throw misses late in that game that were death nails, especially after Jalen Brunson had just bricked a couple free throws and gave you the opportunity. You dig what I'm saying? Those free throws that turned over in game 2, like he's had some gaffes. You understand what I'm saying? But I have to round my video off by speaking on the head of the beast that I have already said if they lose this series, he's gone. If they would have got swept, he may have been gone that night. And that is the coach, Mitch Johnson. Now, I'm not well versed on San Antonio Spurs basketball politics. From what I understand, Popovich is old of age and sickly these days, not moving around well, so obviously can't be on the court moving down, coaching, get his emotions up and all that. So the de facto coach or who he recommended or what have you is this Mitch Johnson guy, and I'm sure that he recommended him on good understanding. Pop knows basketball, they probably got some history and all of that. But I do not know that Popovich thought that he was prepared to coach a player like Victor Wembanyama and how to position things around him, bro. Because every time they put the camera on Mitch Johnson, he looks dumbfounded. He don't really look like a coach. I'm be honest, he don't really look like a coach to me, bro. Like, coaches just kind of got to look to him, whether they white, black, Italian, Spanish, any, whatever. They just kind of got to look to him. He don't look like a coach to me. He looks like a manager of a Wemby. You know what I'm saying? He never calls time. If I'm not mistaken, it was a 29-point lead. Mitch Johnson didn't call a timeout until there was a single-digit lead that the Knicks had whittled it down to. They came out of some timeouts with play calls that were obviously not play calls. It's like, what were y'all talking about on the sideline, bro? If I'm Wemby, at some point down within them last couple of minutes, I get a rebound or something, we get the ball, I'm calling my own. I thought about it in my head, like, what would they have done? They love Wemby anyway. Adam Silver slap you by Wemby. I would have got a rebound and called a timeout, and we'd have just huddled, and we'd have spoke on getting the game plan together and what we're going to do and came on out. What Mitch was going to do? He ain't doing nothing else. Maybe that would inspire. Yeah, nigga, you embarrassed? Because I just called a timeout and made the own game plan for the team. You embarrassed? Well, get your game plan up. What are you doing, bruh? Then he get this press conference saying, well, I think we've dictated the outcome of every game, which is true, but is not a flex. You as a coach, if you're dictating the terms of these games, well, you dictated some real funny looking outcomes, bro. If you knew that your team was in control of it like that, then you're supposed to stop and steer the boat. You're supposed to keep the boat going in the direction that you're supposed to let it go. Victor Wembanyama he hadn't even shown on the court like that quarterback. Like, he says a lot of good things, but he hadn't showed that quarterback trait on the floor where he can guide traffic and kind of direct people and kind of get them in motion. So you need a coach to step in and do that. You know, like when you're talking about it, even though I don't know, you're talking about Shaq and Kobe, and then with Phil, they still didn't override Phil. You know what I'm saying? Now LeBron these days, LeBron is more like the player coach. He overrides a lot of coaches that he's around, but that's LeBron. He's a once in a lifetime. Now Wemby is too, but it's two different positions. It's two different kinds. LeBron can play Wemby's game because of his body size and just his physicality. You know what I'm saying? Wemby can't play LeBron's game. He can't bang with people down there. He can't play bully ball. He too slight with his. So it's like, bro, he needs someone to organize it and make sure he get his ass off that perimeter, down there around that paint. And he did a better job of that. Some jumpers as soon as he got the ball. Instead of bringing the ball down, he employed some of that. I don't really have a critique on the game that he played. He bricked those free throws that would have potentially gave them the win. But when you come down to it, bro, the De'Aaron Fox bonehead plays and all of that put together, no boxing out on OG, all of that put together, I still say Mitch Johnson, the coach, had the opportunity in 29 points worth of hooping to stop and stem the tide, bro. Call a timeout, draw a play up, slow the ball down. They are notorious for jacking up. They are notorious for rushing the ball down with a lead, mind you. They are notorious for rushing the ball down court. And Vassell, this is why I say Vassell is expendable. Vassell is bad about rushing down the court and getting a 3-pointer up 3-4 seconds into the shot clock. I mean, a lot of them do boneheaded stuff like that, but as we going up forward, man, it's kind of it's easy to pick out. Dylan Harper's cleaned up his turnovers and crazy play. Castle's is cleaned up his crazy play. De'Aaron Fox and Vassell, they stick out, bro. They guard play sticks out. Vassell he'll hit some shots, and then now you can't stop him from jacking one up. He just know it's going in. Even if he miss a couple, I guess he like, I'm going to get back on track with this next. And it's like, bro, they play the worst basketball. So midway through that third quarter, in my head was like, bro, they're going to let New York come back and win this game. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether it's the conspiracy of it all or whatever people say is rigged. Now, I was prepared to say something about that had they won these next 3 games, because Castle came out, was like, I expect us to win the next 3. And I'm like, well, why not say the next 4? If you beat New York 2 times at home now, then why would you hesitate on saying that you could beat them in the game 7? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, is he setting up the conspiracy? Is he just telling us, okay, this is going 7 games? So, you know, whether it was conspiracy of it all, but it all came back for them boys to complete the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. And after everything into account, because the same young that you put on them when they making these mistakes and all of that, I feel like absolves them. Because let's be honest, they have a bigger window of getting better and cleaning up the flaws in their game than I think a Mitch Johnson does, to be able to know what to do with. You've got a Wemby, bro. It shouldn't be hard to draw up some plays that's got people dead to rice down in the blocks. Just you can't do nothing with him. You got Tim Duncan and David Robinson floating around the place, bro. So I feel like he is in over his head, man, and every loss in this series has been a result of just poor coaching decisions, bro. It's been some boneheaded plays, but I think it could have been the ties could have been shored up well before they got into those positions, and most certainly last night within 29 points, bro. Coach is supposed to jump in there and make some changes, man. Stop some runs, stop some momentum, and he's just standing over there with his hands crossed. So, you know, that's my take on that game, man. Everybody is stunned by that. That was absolutely heinous material. And where them New York fans acting about with folks with Spurs jerseys on, I honestly want them to lose. You know what I'm saying? I honestly watch these videos and just be wishing that some of these people in Spurs jersey would have given some of these New York mothers some reasons to be grieving this morning, because nigga tried to strip me out my jersey. But then, you know, up in New York, you can't really care like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I really hated to see it. So I really want them to lose, bro, off the back of that. If I have a favorite now, it's the Spurs because of that. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm like an old boomer. You dig what I'm saying? That's pissed me off. But yeah, man, that was crazy, bro. I don't know if the Spurs gonna bounce back from that. I wouldn't be surprised to still see this go seven games. But if the Spurs lose this series, bro, I think they can look back at it and see exactly why. They can like actually point to the instances. But I think they're gonna have to get a new coach around there, man. Somebody that can really organize all the talent they got on their team, and maybe move a couple people around. But I thought it was a poor, horrible coaching performance last night, on top of a very nervous and just brain dead game of basketball being played on the course by the players last night. So I had to offer my opinion, man, and so we'll see what happened with this thing going forward. And until then, it's been straight like that. I'm out.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. The Jack Travis, Lord Dungeon Dragon, spit that flame. Raise hoes